All right, so the recording cut off. The whole conversation that I had with the cop on the porch cut off. I'm pretty pissed off about that. But the police officer has the whole thing recorded. It was live filming the whole time. But, of course, something happened. I'm not stupid. It's just the word I'm using is something happened, okay? And there's no video that I can make public of the conversation I had with the police officer on the porch. The spouse, my mother's husband, came out there. So when the video cuts off, I told the cop, let's go outside. I directed the whole thing to the porch where everyone would be more comfortable outside. He's got a loaded weapon. Let's just everybody go outside. We've got a whole bunch of people in a domestic violence 911 call. Let's go outside. So I said, let's go outside. Okay, I don't know what the fuck is on film anymore. When I went out there, he was a typical cop, okay? He's been a cop for a while. He knows what he's doing. And he, was taking lead here because he's the cop, so that was good. He knew what he's doing with his wording, his statements he was making. He knew what he was doing. And he could tell I wasn't unhinged or mental case or violent, but he was still doing his job to with his discretion, okay? It's huge for cops is to have discretion. It can become legal. Police discretion is a big thing you learn in college if you take this in your courses. So he was definitely using that. He knows what he's doing. He's been a cop for a while. Because he's got to make the proper decision based off his discretion when he leaves anyone, anywhere, whether he uses his power of arrest or he doesn't. Okay, so he's evaluating the situation with the things he was saying, but it was only captured on live film now. As far as republishing it, putting it on YouTube, etc., we have more hacks, we have more glitches, and nothing is filmed. So I'm pretty pissed, and that's why I'm doing this. All right. So my mother's spouse comes out. He follows along. First, when I opened the door, it was this huge, gigantic cop guy. And this man my mother married, standing on the stairs, and it was a really intimidating situation. So I said, let's go out. Let's go out. Everybody go outside. This creep husband of hers follows us out there the whole time. He's clenching like this, his vape stick. Can't let go of his vape stick. And he goes after me for filming. It was all on live film, so I know the good guys saw it. I hope so. But there's enough surveillance, so I don't even fucking worry about it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be filmed, is what I'm saying legally, okay? I don't need to film. I do that so the public can see. All right. So we're out on the porch, and he's asking me a series of questions that can be stressful. Yeah, a cop is grilling you. The cop wants to know, why is he, why did I get called for 911 to your house about you? And he's asking me what I did. I told him, I even role-played R-O-L-E. I role-played, I said I stared her down in her eyes. I role-played, and towards the end of the conversation, about 20 minutes, he said that was aggressive, that might have been what made her feel fearful of her life. She felt fear that I was going to harm her physically. So she had to call 911. All right. So as far as what I can gather, she made the public 911 call. She didn't call the precinct directly. And the man, her husband, clinching his vape, standing out there asking me why I'm filming, trying to say that I couldn't film. It wasn't until the police officer said, "I'm filming this, sir." He told this husband of hers, "I'm filming this, she can film." Her husband wanted me out there with nobody to vouch for me. And the guy was asking questions about, do I have plans while I'm up here? These are my words. Okay, this is my words. This isn't how cops discuss things, especially when they're on a 911 call and they've got a pistol on their hip, dude, and a bulletproof vest. You never know what you're walking into if you're a cop. Okay, so you gotta understand their perspective. He was asking me, I lost my place here, so I blacked out my memory here. Anyway, so let's just pick it up. He was checking it out to see why the 911 was called, and what I can best surmise here is she called. It's on public record. The 911 is on public record now. And he filmed it, the cops, so this is good. And I got a card, which is even better. So now I put the card on the internet. Okay, there's your trace. And the male here, who I said in front of the man, and I said in front of the cop, he's the reason why I'm thinking about going to a DV shelter before you start throwing punches at women in your house. And so the cop responded by saying, you might want to do that before something escalates that bad. And what upset me was that the cop told me that I shouldn't have stared her down. But this cop doesn't know everything that I know since I came in here. No, he has no idea. Presumably he has no idea. Now, maybe he does, but maybe he doesn't. So he told me I shouldn't have stared her down. But if the public were to know what I know since I walked into this house, you would totally see and understand why by the 14th of February I stared her down. That's all I did. I stared her down and it made her call the police. Now they're getting lawyers and they're going to put me onto the streets. The cops, the conversation was on live film. It's too bad that it wasn't put on YouTube. I'm really pissed about that. But it was at least on live film as far as I could tell. And so I did my best. At least I documented that the two here actually went as far as to call 911 and bring a cop to my bedroom door. They actually went that far. And when I do leave this house, everything ever saw, smelled, heard, tasted, and touched will be documented. And I'm getting a lawyer. Like, this isn't these tweaker, meth addict text messages about getting lawyers. No, I'm serious. I'm paying for a lawyer and I'm notarizing it because this is my mother and I have a line and that has been crossed. Everything I saw, smelled, heard, tasted, and touched will be notarized and documented the day I leave. So if these two want to hurry that process up, boot me out, that's fine, because that's the only thing that's keeping that from happening is my situation of living here. As long as I live here, it will not be told. I will not say one word. My mother is not a stranger in Washington, D.C. She's not a roommate in Washington, D.C. This is my mother, and it will be notarized. Then also what I plan to do is go into a federal law enforcement office, more than one, physically go in. I will take further action, but I have to go into the right ones. And I have put into writing where that is. It gets kind of tricky. in the United States. Hopefully, I can find a decent one to go to in the state of Washington. Or even better yet, if I can just get back to the East Coast, then I know my territory and my terrain a little bit more. But I'm not done yet, folks. All right? And I will be talking. All right, bye.